Are you suffering from sinus pressure right now? Is your nose stuffed and maybe you've lost your sense of taste? It's miserable. I'm gonna share with you 7 quick tips that you can do at home that will help you crush this sinus infection in one day. I promise you, I just went through this. In fact, I still have a little bit of it left. So let me help you. Come on, watch this video, learn how to crush this thing now. About 2 weeks ago, I started feeling like I was getting allergies, and I started getting running through my nose and sinus stuff, and then it turned into a cold. And it was kind of a different cold. I wasn't really sure what was going on. It felt different inside my head. And next thing I knew, I had a constant persistent fever. I was starting to experience pressure inside of my face. And I was coughing, but I didn't feel like I had a lung infection, and it was sinus runoff back into my throat triggering a cough that was keeping me up night after night after night. So I was absolutely miserable, and it got to the point where I completely lost all sense of taste. And it was really intense. When I finally realized what was going on, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was frustrated and I couldn't sleep, and my face was just in excruciating pain because of the pressure inside there. And I said, okay, that's it. And I broke out all my natural remedies, which I really have no idea why I didn't do beforehand. I guess it was just maybe meant to be so that I'd make this video for you, because I experienced how quickly it helped. So that night, 2 o'clock, I went downstairs, I went through everything that I'm about to share with you, and by the next day, I noticed an intense difference. One, I could breathe. That night, I actually slept, and by the following day, the intense symptoms of the sinus pressure and the sinus infection had all but disappeared, and now it just kind of felt like a cold. So let's just jump right into this, because I know you are anxious to start feeling better now. So the first one that I found very helpful was raw garlic. If you've ever used raw garlic or eaten raw garlic, you know it's intense, it's nasty, and it's not something that's pleasant. So the only reason to consume raw garlic is that it is Mother's nature. It's Mother's nature. It's Mother Nature's natural antibiotic, and it is fantastic. So I'll show you a quick rundown of how I go through it, and then what I would recommend is that if you've never taken raw garlic, one, never do it on an empty stomach. Have something in there with it to help your bowels, because it can be intense. So eat a little something, take a small piece of garlic and work your way up. I recommend eating the garlic 2 to 3 times per day, and that really makes a difference. So that's your antibiotic. Boom! Starts knocking it out right there. So you hit it with the antibiotic, that'll help you through the next 24 hours. Okay, so for starters, if you have a big clove of garlic like this and you want to ingest it, the outside cloves can be massive. Okay, I mean, this is as big as my thumb or bigger. You definitely don't want to eat one of those, especially if you're just starting out, because that can be pretty hard on your stomach. But if you go towards the center of this, you can find smaller pieces, like this one right here. So like this little guy right here, that's pretty safe to ingest without worrying about any nausea or feeling sick. So I would recommend with starting like this. If you can't find any cloves that are like this small, then take something like this and maybe quarter it down. What you want to do is you want to cut off, see there's an end here, that right there. You want to cut that off. So, boop. Okay? And then I would cut that down. There. So I would start with a piece that's like this. And the important thing is that when you eat it, all kinds of good stuff is released when you chew the garlic itself. So it's important that you chew it up And I have found the easiest way to do it is after I'm done chewing, rather than trying to swallow the whole thing, I will take it down with a glass of water. So remember, eat it 2 to 3 times per 24-hour period. The next one is ginger tea. Ginger is amazing, and it goes way back in time as a healing tonic. And what ginger does is it not only boosts your immune system, but it also is an anti-inflammatory agent. So it'll reduce inflammation inside of your sinus tissues and all that, and it will also boost your immune system to help fight this thing off. And if you mix the ginger with a little bit of honey, it just tastes amazing. I mean, it's great. Why not enjoy a cup of ginger tea? So this is ginger. This is kind of an older piece of ginger. It's starting to look a little wrinkled and has some stuff growing on it. Anyway, ginger is amazing, and if you've never made ginger tea, so you see this guy here, what you do is you break off a piece of it. Let's take that piece off right here, okay? I'm gonna put this over here, and now what you have is you have this ginger with this wrinkled up skin on there. You can leave it on there, or we can take a knife and we can cut it off. However you see fit and whatever is important to you. Oh, it smells amazing. Wish I could share that with you. So hopefully you have some ginger. If not, run down to your local supermarket and it should be pretty easy to get. Now, the important thing to do here is when you're making this tea, you slice it into real thin sections. Okay. Now what you have here is you end up with thin slices like this. Add some honey. Maybe about a teaspoon to a tablespoon, depending on your preferences. The less sugar that you get, the better, but honey definitely helps with this. And by now you'd already have your water heated up on the stove or some very hot water coming out of the tap. Preferably next to boiling point. Take this, stir it up, get that honey mixed in along with that ginger. There. This is an amazing tonic. After you've had your ginger tea, the next one that's important to try is apple cider vinegar mixed with water. Apple cider vinegar helps thin the mucus inside of your body. Not only that, but it's loaded with all kinds of things to help reduce the inflammation inside your body. So apple cider vinegar is a must tonic for this. All of these together equal powerful effects. So if you can, try not to miss out on one. If you don't have any in your home, do what you can now, but go to the store or send somebody to the store. Get these things so that you can beat this thing, because I promise you mix all these together, boom! That sinus infection is over, baby, I promise. I recommend apple cider vinegar, especially when I get organic stuff. I use Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar. Where I am at, this is very easy to find. It's in most of the stores. And so I'm not technical about how much I put in there. It just kind of goes by taste. So what you want to do is get a glass, fill it with some water. This is the easiest way that I've found. And then I add, I am guessing, about a tablespoon to that. And then you can either use honey to sweeten that, or you can use stevia. So I use this, the Cal's Pure Stevia, and mix that in. I'll do 2 scoops. You can do more if you want, but this way you're not getting your insulin levels jacked and you can keep your immune system functioning fully. So I recommend either honey or stevia. Mix that in and drink it down as quickly as you can. Other ways to do it is you can fill up your water bottle with, fill this thing up with water all the way, and then you could add the same amount or a little bit more of the apple cider vinegar, and you could drink that through the rest of the day. And that definitely will have the same effect as consuming it all in a straight shot. It just won't taste as potent if you have a hard time with the flavor. I myself just like to get it all out of the way as quickly as possible. The next one is a neti pot, and a neti pot it's a very graceful looking little contraption that does a really nasty job for you. It's not enjoyable, you won't look forward to it, but it's absolutely essential if you want to wipe out that sinus infection. So what a neti pot does is you mix it with warm water and you use non-iodinized salt, non-iodinized, did I say that correctly? I believe so. Non-iodinized salt in there. So 1 teaspoon of non-iodinized salt to 2 cups of warm water. And you want to make sure that that water is warm. So when if you dip your finger in it, it doesn't burn your finger. It's not cold either, because that's entering inside some pretty sensitive areas inside your face. So make sure that that water is just real nice, lukewarm, so it doesn't add to any irritation or cause a contraction or swelling or anything terrible like that. So you mix that up, and if you don't have a neti pot, you can use a squirt bottle that has a top. You can use a syringe like I'll show you in the video with my helper, my son, and there's lots of other things I'm sure that you could use that my brain can't think of at the moment. So if you don't have anything, think. I'm sure you have something in your house that you could use to get that nice warm water into one nostril and out the other side, okay? And if it doesn't come out the other side, it may notice it drains down your throat. Whatever it does, if you can get that warm water in there with that salt, it will definitely help to battle the infection. Okay, so the next step, and I have my helper here with me, Camden.
Okay.
The next step is we're going to show you how to do at-home neti pot if you don't have an actual neti pot. So Camden, could I get that glass, please?
Yep.
And you put that up there on the cutting board. Okay, and when you're gonna do this, so the first thing you wanna do is you wanna get some warm water.
Okay.
And you wanna get water that isn't gonna burn the inside of your nostrils. So if you can put your finger in there and it feels lukewarm, like you don't want it cold, you don't want it really hot, because that would burn when it goes inside your nose, right? Yeah. So we get this lukewarm water, we'll add that. Okay. And then you wanna add some salt.
Okay, I will dump it.
You wanna dump it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and put out your hand.
Okay. Got my hand.
Okay, and we don't want to do a whole bunch, but you want to do enough where it's gonna clean out all that bacteria, infections. So right there, go ahead and put that in that water, would you?
Yeah.
Okay. And so now we've added probably about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. If you want to stir that up.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and stir that up for me. And so now, can you get the syringe for me, Camden? All right. So what I used, because I didn't have an actual neti pot, and there's other things that you can do. You could use a water bottle with a squirt top, or I don't know. You can get creative. Look around your house if you have something. The main goal is you want to get this solution through your nose. So to mix it up, I did this a few times, and I took this. And this is where it gets messy. This is the part that is uncomfortable because you're running it through your nose. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Okay. Just so you can see, this is gonna be kind of nasty here. Okay, all right. So. All right.
What?
So that's super uncomfortable, but.
Is that cold?
No, it wasn't cold. And another thing you want to be careful of is if you do that, you don't want to blow your nose directly after doing it very hard, because you can hurt your eardrums. So that's how you use a saline solution. Good luck.
Yes.
The next one that is massively effective is using oregano oil steam. All right, so what we're doing here is we're warming up the water so we can show you how to use oregano. And this is the oregano oil that I have used. Focus, there we go. So oregano oil. Okay? Okay, so now that this water is starting to warm up, Camden, let's move your stool over here so you can put some of these drops inside the water. Okay? All right, so what we're gonna do is, I have this pot here. This is what we put on top of our wood stove in the winter time to keep the humidity level higher. We have some oregano oil right here. Camden, you wanna put 4 drops of oil inside there. So there's about 1/2 inch of water in there that's just now starting to boil. And 4, all right, that's all we want.
Okay.
Thank you, Camden. So now you have your oregano oil inside there, the water's starting to boil, mix it around a little bit. You want to turn the heat down on the stove because it's going to get really hot. Next thing you do, all right, Camden, I got to move this stool here real quick.
Okay. I can
Move that down. Thank you. Okay, so now you want to take a towel
What?
and you drape it over your head and over the stove like this.
Let me try it.
You want to try that?
Yeah.
All right, come on over here. So put this over your head and you lean over and you breathe in.
It's too hot.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
See, that's what happens when you got this temperature up too high. So you gotta turn it down, otherwise it can kind of burn your face.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want it.
if you need to, what you can do is after you get it warm, you can move it off of the stove top, and that'll help bring the temperature down. But basically, you just want to cover up and you want to breathe in as much of that as you can. So whichever side of your sinuses are plugged up, if you can, plug one nostril and try to breathe through there.
I want me.
So let's see here. Woo!
What? Is that kind
It's
of hot?
potent. Yeah, it's hot. And it also smells. It really smells strong. Here, you want to try again?
No.
No?
It burned my head.
It burned your head? Okay. Well, we won't do that again. Breathe through your sinuses. Even if they're plugged, try. Every little bit that you can get in there is going to make a huge difference to wipe out that infection. Breathe into your lungs nice and deep and let it out. If the water is too hot, it's going to be really potent under that towel. So maybe move the container, the pot, off of the stovetop while you're doing this. Let it cool down and heat it as you need to. So just be careful you don't burn your face off in the process here. So the next is, I am definitely an advocate as a primal health coach myself. I work with people to eliminate the unhealthy standard American diet from their lifestyles. So if your immune system is already at a low level because of the food that you're putting inside of your body, these are some quick tips that you can do right now to help your body battle this infection that's happening. So 1, eliminate all grains from your diet. There's lots of reasons. This video isn't about those, but if you want to go to my channel, you can find other ones that will talk about that. So eliminate grains from your diet, ASAP. Eliminate sugars and processed foods from your diet, ASAP. And get rid of any dairy, cheese, milk, cottage cheese, all that stuff. Just for now, just to help your body heal up and to thin out that mucus, eliminate that stuff and boost your water intake. Try to get like 1/4 gallon a day if you can. If you can do more than that, right on. It'll help you wipe this thing out for good. So boost your water intake, get rid of those bad foods that are causing the increase in your sickness. And the last thing that you can do is sleep. Go get some rest. Call in sick to work if you can. I mean, I know sometimes it's hard to take time out of your busy life, but if your body is sick, rest can do a world of difference for your health. So get some sleep, get some rest, lay down, take a nap. Do whatever you can to help yourself get through this process. And if you're looking for the things that I recommend in this video, like the NETI pot, the apple cider vinegar, oregano oil, there's links down in the description below where you can find those things on Amazon, get it shipped straight to your door. So if going to the store somehow is not possible, go to Amazon, order those things, get them to you ASAP. And if you need help with any primal health coaching, if you want to get your health in order, hit me up with an email. I work with people online and I will definitely help you get your health back. This will eliminate sinus pressure immediately. You will feel fantastic after you do this, I promise. Keep it up, stay strong. I know it's not fun dealing with a sinus infection, but if you can do all these things, you don't need to go to the doctor unless something serious develops. I mean, if you've had this thing for a long time and it's become an issue, I'm not saying don't seek medical advice. Seek medical advice. I am definitely not a doctor. I'm just here to tell you what worked for me, because I noticed a difference within 24 hours. I knew that I was on the path to healing, and I want the same for you. So, I hope this helps. I wish you the best. If you appreciated this video, please hit the subscribe button. Come back for more. I'll have a lot more health hacks and life hacks to make your life more elevated. So keep going, keep growing, elevate for life.